Are you currently preparing for an examination and you are confused on how you can actually prepare adequately for this particular examination? Well, in this video, I am going to be exposing you to ways and techniques you can actually make use of in order for you to prepare adequately and effectively for this examination that is coming up. I will give you 7 great tips that you can actually follow for the success of that particular examination. If you are ready, let's dive right into the video. You are welcome back to the Illuminated Minds YouTube channel, everyone. My name is Ayuride Samson Oluwatobiloba, and I am currently a 4th year student of Ekiti State University in the Department of Arts and Language. Now, let us talk about how you can actually prepare effectively for an examination. What is an examination? An examination is a testing, a form of final testing for a particular session. That kind of testing that comes at the end of a learning period. Now, examination is useful in order to give feedback to the teacher or to the lecturer what the students have been able to know or gather or express over the time in the course of the studies. Number 1, you need to start early and create a workable timetable. I said start early. Why should you start early? If you start early, you'll be able to cover all the whole scheme of work or syllabus in due time. But if you start late, you will discover that you will not actually go into in-depth learning. What your brain will be taught to do is just to recognize the words and not actually know what you expected to know. So it is very, very important for you to start early. And I said create a working timetable. Why is this necessary? A lot of people want to read and they will create a timetable, but the timetable they have created is not actually workable. They've created a timetable based on what they see online or what someone else have told them to do or what they see as the ideal. Meanwhile, you are the only one that can actually plan an effective and proper timetable for yourself, depending on your time, how you want to manage your time, and the things you are involved in day by day. These things will help you to plan your time effectively. Number 2, you need to understand the concept in that subject or in that course. Don't just recognize it. You must understand, because understanding is in cognition, in learning, in the street of learning, in the journey of learning. You have to know, and then understanding comes later on. All right, so you can easily memorize something, you can easily identify something without knowing it. So don't let your brain deceive you into thinking that you actually know why you don't actually know it. So the way you can assess yourself to actually know that you actually know that particular concept is when you can actually bring it up in your own words, when you can explain it to other person. So it is very, very important for you to actually understand it. Ask yourself questions and be able to provide questions from it, and you will be able to apply to real life experiences. Number 3, you need to practice past questions. This cannot be overemphasized. There is no single examination you want to do as of today that does not have a past question. Every single examination has a past question. And there is no question they want to set for you today that has never been set before. Every questions that you are seeing in your exams that seems as if it is too difficult have in one time or the other actually been requested from some people that have gone ahead of you. So ensure you go through past question. But again, if you are making use of past question, ensure that you are not actually recognizing the pattern of the question. Rather, you should know and understand the patterns of those questions and what the answers are requesting from you. Now, another way a past question or past questions that can actually help you is that it will help you to know the ways to answer these questions. Some students in the exam hall will frame questions for themselves again, apart from what the lecturer or the teacher has actually said for them. So because they want to know a part of the question, and then they will strategize the question, they will inform the question, and they will need to answer the question they set for themselves. So when you go through past question, it will make you to know what the lecturer is actually requesting of you from that particular question. Number 4, use active study technique. Why is this necessary? If you use study, there are passive way of reading and there are active way of reading. Now, passive way of reading is just to take your book and then you begin to read. Meanwhile, your brain is only recognizing without actually learning. So you need to be active while learning. How will you do this? The moment you read a concept, find someone to explain it to. Test yourself. Go online. Check questions that have been asked about it. Provide answers to it. Explain it to your friends. Just be willing to teach it. You don't need to become a teacher before you can teach these things. Just call some group of friends, explain those concepts to them. That's how you can make those knowledge to come alive. Because if you don't do it, what you are doing is passive reading. You will eventually forget it. Fine, it will serve you for a short period of time for the examination, but the purpose is defeated. Why? Because you have not actually learned. Number 5, which is very important, you need to study in a conducive environment. Learn how to study in a conducive environment. What a conducive environment is to you can only be decided by you. But first, ensure that the area or the environment is tidy enough. Ensure there are no distractions for you. Ensure you can focus maximally in that particular environment or location that you have chosen to read. These things are very, very important. Now, the things you want to use in order for you to read is up to you totally. Maybe you want to put on a headphone or headset, AirPod, anything you want to do, or maybe you love to see food by your side anytime you're reading. Those things are up to you, but ensure that the environment you are reading is actually very good enough for study, so that your brain will not just deceive you into recognizing those patterns without actually learning. Number 6, this is very important for your mental health. You need to take rest. Take a break and rest. Rest. When you rest, that is not a signal of weakness. You are only refreshing your brain, refreshing your mind. The moment you rest, your brain gains its strength. The brain is working tirelessly 24/7. Even when you are sleeping, the brain is still working. So you need to rest. You need to have a proper rest. At least you should be able to rest or sleep even for the sleeping. As a student, you should be able to sleep for at least about 5 hours. All right. Stop listening to all these motivational speakers that will tell you don't do this, don't do that. Your brain will not be able to function maximally if you don't have quality rest. Now, I'm not talking about being careless or being carefree without, you don't care, you don't send anybody, you just want to do your own thing your own way. No, that's not what I'm saying. But you need a proper rest. Every time you read, the moment you achieve your goal, ensure that you rest. And number 7, which is the last one, is that you need to form or join a study group. This will really, really help you. Maybe you are in your secondary school, you are in high institution, or you're a postgraduate student, whatever it is or whatever stage you are, you need to form a study group. This will really help you. Surround yourself with people that are competent in that field of study. Surround yourself with people that knows better than you and with people that you even want to help. This will really, really motivate you to read. Assuming you were to read a particular set of texts in first semester, for example, and you are feeling lazy. If one of your friends have actually read about 3 or 4 and they are talking about it, asking questions about it, you will feel pressured to actually go and read those texts. That is why it is very, very necessary. So that when you are down and you are weak and you feel like you don't need to read, you don't have any motivation to read, the moment you see your friends doing these things, you will be motivated instantly to read. This is why it's very, very important for you. And I can assure you that if you follow every single thing I have said in this video, you are not going to have issues with that particular examination that you are preparing for. Once again, my name is Irene Samson Oluwatobiloba, a 4th year student of Ekiti State University. Please, I want to visit with you. Subscribe to this YouTube channel, like this video, share it with people that can benefit from it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.